something in the air smelled foul over the holiday season, and I just couldn't figure out what it was. And I had my nose sniffing out what could have been irregular circumstances, and then I saw it. The former fool who conned an entire city and convinced herself and other people who just so happen to be stupider than her that she's the victim of slander and persecution after she had been caught misappropriating funds. The super mayor has come back into everybody's algorithm, but this time, instead of saying something dumb that makes her case even more layered against her, she's apparently against the Democrats now.
A lot of people are saying that people keep voting for Democrats or keep voting Democrat, but the Democrats aren't doing anything for the black community.
That's true.
So
I lived it. That's true.
You lived it. Aren't you the same woman who conned a city and used the funds for her own leisure?
Lived it. You mean
I lived it because I am a Democrat. I ran as a Democrat.
So you don't help the black community. Thanks. Video's done. We could go home now.
And if you go check my voting record, that's what I always pull, a Democrat ballot. And Democrats really need some help. And I'm here to say it proudly that a lot of them don't belong in the seats that they're in.
You don't belong in the seat that you had. That's why they voted to boot you out. That's why even after your weird little cartoonish tyrannical takeover, they finally got you out. And they want you in jail. They want that money back because you used it for your own leisure and not the community. And when you got found out, you had this hilarious dick look on your face.
Almost $300,000 between your two elected positions.
I do not. I don't know where you got that number from. I handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
You fucked over a city of people. You were the leader. You were the Democratic leader. And you failed. You conned them. You scammed them.
Residents have to really research them and stop listening because they say they're Democrat don't mean they for you.
I'm finna tweet. I'm about to lose it. I'm about to lose my mind. At randomly in the morning as we sitting here listening to this, I'm about to lose my mind. Cause the call's coming directly from inside the house. You're talking about yourself. This is what I don't like about most people, is that they'll do something fucked up and then they'll go on this profound monologue and letting the world know the problem is right there. The problem is over there. The problem is that way. And the whole time they're pointing at a mirror and the reflection is them. I can't understand how anybody could hear this and think to themselves, this is the awakening that people need. This is the awakening that most black Democratic supporters need to realize.
We're reacting to Tiffany Henyard turning her back on the Democratic Party. She said the quiet part out loud about the riggings of elections, the Democratic Party failures. You don't believe me? Watch this video and you get to see it for yourself. I'm trying to tell you, this should be a wake-up call for black women in the Democratic Party. Stop letting them use y'all. Watch this.
Those are very shocking revelations. So people keep voting for Democrats or keep voting Democrat, but the Democrats aren't doing anything for the black community.
That's true.
So
I lived it. That's true.
You lived it. You mean
I lived it because I am a Democrat. I ran as a Democrat. And if you go check my voting record, that's what I always pull, a Democrat ballot. Right. And because right now, Republicans are doing a good job to me. This is my opinion.
No, of course.
Everybody got their. So all the stuff that, I will say this about Trump, that Trump states fake news, election rigging, stealing seats, it is happening. Because it's happening in Illinois. And I was right there to see it at the caucus in December of 2024, where a person came and stole the election. They didn't even let the people in to vote.
What?
Yes, it was voter suppression at its worst. The news covered it. They saw it all, but guess what? No one did anything. People signed affidavits saying they wanted their vote to count, did not count. And that person just stole the seat.
Those are very shocking revelations. So
Yes.
what can we do about that?
Well, the people got to stand up. They got to take a stance, and they can't go mute. They have to come together as a whole, not just 1, 2, 3, 100, 200. It has to be thousands of people to take a stance against corruption, against election rigging. Mm-hmm. That's why it's a lot of things that Trump said. He's right on, right on point.
Right.
Because I've seen it and I lived.
Now, if y'all don't listen to this woman, something's really wrong with you. And I ain't gonna lie, I had my ills with her because what she did to the town of Thornton was terrible. Ran up all that money. But what she did was, she realized they chased her out of her seat because she was bad for the Democratic Party. What they did was chase her out the seat. So what she's doing right now, she's on an exposed campaign. From the rigged elections, the fake news, the lies being told. She clearly says this. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm a product of Democratic policies. I'm from New York City. I used to have a Democratic mind state. Free, 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 handouts. Bullshit. I'm going to tell you this. Pay attention to what these people say and what they do. She said the quiet part out loud. You already know what it is, the interpretation.
This woman is a con artist. This woman is in living color the definition of a con artist in real time. She promoted herself as this great person who could lead a city. She got voted in to lead a city. She conned a city. She got caught conning a city and has now had to suffer the consequences of that, and apparently now has had this great change of heart. No, you don't get to have a change of heart. You scammed these people. You defrauded these motherfuckers. You didn't give back to the city you claimed to lead, and now you're sitting here with this profound, obvious statement, "Ooh, the Democrats need help." Ooh.
They're normally for themselves. You have to really pay attention and change the narrative that we see right now.
We can't change that narrative if people who get caught scamming and frauding don't really address it. They say, "Hey, follow me on my website. Buy this if you want to know the truth. Subscribe to my podcast if you want to know the truth." Nobody doing all that. You caught. You tried for the longest to make it seem like everybody was against you. And then when that didn't work, because you foolishly thought that it was just random people saying you were doing something, they actually brought information and evidence to back up their claims that you were scamming.
Close aide to Mayor Tiffany Henyard is cooperating with her opponents, and the mayor has now been stripped of at least some power in the form of access to village money.
Because, you throw a lot of things up here that don't be true.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard's grip on the reins of Dalton is loosening. At last night's meeting, the Board of Trustees voted to freeze spending on village credit cards, limiting expenses to those approved by the board.
That was the main goal, to cut off her access and other operators in the municipality. I have to be careful choosing my words here.
I've never seen any municipality have so many credit cards out there. Orders of going out to eat is mind-boggling. The trips, the shopping, going to Target and spending $300, $500, $600, even dollar amounts. It seems very fishy, and it looks like gift cards were purchased.
And board attorney Michael McGrath says that snapshot of just 5 or 6 months of spending was revealed in the last couple of weeks by Henyard's top aide, Keith Freeman, who's now cooperating with the board. He pleaded not guilty to a federal bankruptcy charge and is considered by some trustees to be a potential whistleblower.
Is there a motion to terminate Keith Freeman?
Henyard announced his termination last night, though the board insists Freeman is still the village administrator. The mayor rarely talks to reporters, and she let the defense attorney she's retained do most of the talking with WGN News. He says Freeman put Henyard's safety at risk by removing her security detail.
Under the law, he's out when she says he's out.
How is he putting you at risk?
He just answered that.
Is it that there's speculation that prosecutors are putting pressure on him to cooperate with their investigation into you?
No, we're talking about the removal of security detail.
This isn't the first time Henyard's safety has taken center stage. The acting police chief, Louis Lacey, has implemented capacity limits and metal detectors in the board meeting room. And just last night, he made everyone walk back through those machines after the meeting had already started. The board placed him on paid administrative leave pending an investigation into his alleged mishandling of the department.
We requested that he turn in all village equipment by the end of today. And if he doesn't, we'll seek a court order to enforce the administration.
Right now we are bleeding. This village is bleeding. If these residents knew the truth, they'd hit the roof.
Okay, you out of order. You need to remove her. Remove her.
So you got us into this mess, and now we're trying to salvage what we can to get out.
People that say things about me, I want you to prove it. Because, like I said, fact versus fiction.
Didn't know them. A lot of my board members, they didn't know them either. Our biggest fear is that she's going to use them for her criminal defense attorney and that the village is going to pay for it.
Why are you having a federal criminal lawyer sit next to you at a village board meeting? I mean, all I can say is, really? We have a lot of experience in Chicago. That happens quite frequently, that politicians get indicted. But they don't have the municipality that they work for pay for their criminal defense.
Keith Freeman is fired from the village of Dalton. He no longer works here at the village of Dalton. Y'all are black, and y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet. The mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work, no work.
You cannot all of a sudden then turn around and be like, you know, guys, we got to change this narrative around, Democrats. And we got to wake up as to how the Democratic Party is using the black community and how the Democratic Party is this and that. Those Republicans already do that. They have the playbook. They use you as an example for that. So when you sit there and you try your hardest to make it seem like, oh, well, maybe we get some help and maybe it'll work out for us. What? So that you can scam more people? So that you could be in a higher position of power to scam even more people than just a small town? Because I'm sorry, once you get caught once, it is the luck of fools if you get in that position again. And the sick part is somebody's going to look at this and they're going to say, oh, well, what's wrong with this message? There's nothing wrong with this message. The thing that's wrong with this message is who it's coming from. Somebody who just so happens to be everything she's preaching against. A Democrat who just so happens to be black, who just so happens to have been in a position of power, who also just so happened to fuck over the people who voted her in. This is not the person to give that message.
Right. Because right now, Republicans are doing a good job to me.
Ooh, I like that one.
I don't like that at all. I don't like this concept that's in somebody's mind that, hey, if I just say the right thing, maybe this will get people off my back. And I'm sorry, I will not allow anyone to fall for the bait here. I will not allow anybody to sit here and think, oh, it's nice to see that she's waking up. No, because let we not forget, I've said it numerous times, this woman sat up here and conned a bunch of people and took funds and used it on herself and got caught. In a jaw-dropping meeting on Thursday night, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot presented initial findings from her investigation into Super Mayor's dire financial situation. The bombshell report delved into the spending habits of Tiffany Henyard and her alleged misuse of taxpayer dollars, highlighting just how much financial trouble the village is in. The findings were stunning to many community members, with audible gasps from the audience as Lightfoot revealed Dalton's funds have been declining under Henyard's leadership. She was elected as the mayor in 2021. Lightfoot stated that in April of 2022, Dalton's general fund balance was $5.61 million. By May, the balance had dropped to a deficit of $3.65 million. The presentation detailed credit card transactions amounting to thousands of dollars, and Lightfoot said millions are owed to vendors. Across the village, 6 credit cards that Lightfoot's team is aware of, the receipts for purchases are rarely provided. Lightfoot disclosed that the village credit cards have been used to make purchases at Amazon, Target, Walgreens, for some fucking reason Wayfair, and other retailers. If you shop at Wayfair, just know I also shop at Wayfair. Notably, one purchase on Amazon amounted to $33,005 on January 5th of 2023. That same day, 2 more purchases were made on the site, one for $4,715 and another for $5,609.92. What a slap in the face to everybody that resides in the 60419 zip code. Another significant purchase noted in Lightfoot's report was made on September 1st of 2023 for $7,699.99 on fucking Wayfair.com. Let me just say, even though I shop at Wayfair, if you shop at Wayfair and you spending $7,000, I just know your furniture is made out of piss, vinegar, and rat hair. I know how I felt when I started seeing these numbers, so I can imagine how all of you are feeling after all this time being in the dark. Community members also learned that as of June 18th of 2024, at least 589 checks amounting to over $6 million were approved and printed, but never sent to vendors. And need I remind you of the most egregious part of it all? She hired somebody who's not supposed to be around children to start knocking on people's doors.
What do you think about that hire?
They need to do a better job of background checking. That's awful.
Residents of South Suburban Dalton reacting to a Fox 32 investigation that found a new village employee with a dangerous criminal past.
He is a registered and he's now been hired by the village to go into people's homes and businesses.
Now, furious village trustees are taking steps to curb the mayor's power. Fox 32's Dane Placco broke the story, and he has the latest from Dalton.
What is the situation involving your background?
Well, my background, a childhood background, over 30 years ago.
46-year-old Lavelle Redmond wasn't happy to see us when we encountered him today behind Dalton Village Hall. But listen again to the person on the phone telling him to stop talking.
30 years ago.
We don't know who that is, but we do know who got Redmond his village job. Redmond is close to new Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard and worked on her campaign. Records obtained by Fox 32 show that on September 20th, Redmond was hired as a code enforcement officer for the village of Dalton, a job that gives him access inside homes and businesses, which is why Dalton residents were shocked when we showed them what we found online.
Oh my God! Don't they supposed to do background checks before they allow these people in these kind of positions?
One would think, right?
Yes.
That's because Redmond is listed as a child on the Illinois State Police Registry. He served 24 years of a 50-year sentence for taking part in the brutal rape and beating of 2 young girls in the Roseland neighborhood in 1991. News reports at the time say Redmond was one of 4 young men who kidnapped the girls and took them to an abandoned garage where they were set and beaten with boards and guns.
I would be terrified to know now if he had come to my house to do a code inspection. I'll be terrified.
That's crazy. I don't know. He won't get in my house, though.
Dalton trustees say Redmond was hired directly by Mayor Henyard and her village administrator, former Cook County Circuit Court Clerk Dorothy Brown.
Did the trustees have any input in this hire?
No, the trustees have not had any input on any hire since the swearing in of this administration.
We tried talking to Mayor Henyard, but a police officer in front of her home told us we couldn't knock on the door. Later, the mayor issued a statement. I and the village of Dalton take the safety of our residents very serious, and we would never put our residents in jeopardy. In regard to the matter of the employee who's the subject of recent news stories, know that the incident referred to occurred nearly 30 years ago, and they paid their debt to society. We believe that a person can be rehabilitated, and we believe in second chances.
You know, I'm for second chances, but the fact that he's on the registry and the fact that he's going inside of homes, that's what caused an alarm.
and cause concern for me in regards to my safety and the rest of the residents.
This woman is a fucking moron. This woman is a fucking con artist. This woman should not be in any position of power. I don't care how many podcasts she go on, how many interviews, how many times she says sorry. She should not be in position of power ever again. And she is a reason among many where Republicans will look at Democrats and say, all they do is steal money. While they conning motherfuckers, they go over there and say, look, conning, look, it's a bunch of conning going on over there. Look at all that money, as they take some funds somewhere and they use it for their own fucking leisure. And that's the spin of how the game goes. And the more somebody who gets caught tries to be the sanctimonious holier than thou, the more it'll be easy to spot and motherfuckers will laugh at to their dying days. Do not fall for this simple ass bait until this woman recants and actually fucking dedicates time to repenting for conning those people and gives that money back. Because just saying all these nice platitudes does nothing. I need to see that money and where the fuck it went.